Hello, everybody. It is, or I should say, good morning. It's 1:30 in the morning. But let's just make one thing very clear. I don't care how late it is. I almost felt like not doing this, but my commitment is here, and I am on these charts regardless. Okay, we're gonna set some intentions at the end of this video as well, in regards to what I want to achieve out of the week. Regardless, though, let's go ahead and take a look at today's price action, and I want to make it very clear that my bias on the daily time frame is still bearish. I'm looking for bearish trades, and to be honest, I could look for swing trades, but I don't want to trade oppositional to the general direction. Now, I'm going to do what ICT talks about and analyze the last 3 days. Don't count this one because that's not relevant. It's just because I'm recording it late. Today, I was focused on this fair value gap between this bullish candle's low and this bearish candle's high. Okay, we have fair value gap right in between there, which I will show you guys. Okay, we have that fair value gap there, which was marked, and I marked that there. Okay, we have this buy side liquidity here. We have this liquidity right here. This is another fair value gap on a lower time frame, and then above these relative equal highs, we have buy side, which it actually swept into today right with this wick. Okay, so even though I could see the candle today clearly was bullish, I was expecting price to merely reach into the buy side, okay, grab the liquidity, and then proceed back into the fair value gap from the last 3 days. Now we can see that we have a bearish candle, and we have these clean lows and different levels of sell side below here. Okay, I'm going to now switch down to our hour time frame, and I'm going to look at it even more in depth. Okay, here's today's range. Okay, now let's look at something that is very obvious right here. Okay, this is the midnight opening price, this red line here. Okay, midnight opening price, we have this accumulation and the false move lower. Accumulation is going to become more clear on our lower time frames, but we have accumulation, manipulation, the false move lower before price proceeds higher. Okay, creates massive displacement and rebalances. Okay, that's pretty much what happened here into the close for the day. I'm not really worried about that. Let's go ahead and go into the 15-minute time frame, analyze this even deeper. Okay, so boom, there's midnight. Okay, here we go into the London session. Okay, we have little movement. Boom, London session 2 to 5. Okay, we have that manipulation in the London session. Okay, taking us all the way to the high, these relative equal highs that were created, and that's actually created within the New York session open. Okay, 8:30. So 8:30, we see a slight false move lower. I marked that 8:30 candle here, and so this could be accumulation, manipulation, and of course we have that distribution higher. Okay, and not could be, it was. Okay, price traded below the open price, making it look like it would continue lower, but in reality it just attacked these relative equal highs to get that buy side. Okay, now we see a lot of displacement. Okay, it traded into this fair value gap, that liquidity is taken, so it creates a lot of movement on the upside. Okay, we have this small little resistance here, the small little order block, little change in the state of delivery, and price continues higher. Okay, so now looking at this, let's go ahead and go to the 5-minute. Okay, 1 second. So looking at this, okay, we have price create this low. We could definitely focus on that, and also considering there was a fair value gap, so there's definitely liquidity below there. This could be a good trigger to look at. Okay, but price continues higher, creates this new high. Okay, so now I'm looking at this prior short-term high as a level of buy side liquidity. Okay, there are buy stops above, and there's also buy stops above this buy side liquidity from a higher time frame. Okay, so that buy side liquidity is actually taken into lunch, and it violates that high. Okay, but it doesn't displace into this prior low. In fact, here in lunch, it merely taps it. But regardless, I would have been patient. I would have sat this out. There definitely would have been, room to try to force a trade here. Like, for example, this trade lower into like a fair value gap. If I was really desperate, I might, see that as an opportunity, but there's no opportunity here. There is no opportunity here. Okay. Not at least from my perspective or what I can view. I might just be really tired, but I didn't view anything earlier either. Okay. So anyways, we have lunchtime. Okay. And then we have price actually taking that buy side, okay, into lunch. Okay. And then buy side breaking the prior low. Okay. This low gets broken. Okay. And trades into the displacement in the PM session. Okay. So after this, it's broken, it's triggered. Okay, we have a massive displacement lower. We have this fair value gap here, and it's actually price trades into this fair value gap and an attempt to rebalance. It doesn't rebalance the entire thing, but it does trade into our fair value gap. Now we could expect price to go to this second or even fair value gap up here, okay? But ultimately, our entry would be in this fair value gap, and that's in accordance to what ICT teaches with his rules in regards to fair value gaps, okay? So regardless, we have this new low created. These are relative equal lows, okay? And this would have been a good entry, okay, right here. This would have been a great entry, okay? We have a shift in structure, okay, prior lows that were, I guess respected, if you will, right? Prior lows violated, okay, we have massive displacement, fair value gap, liquidity in here, price trades into the liquidity. Within that fair value gap, we could have placed an entry, okay? And then price then proceeds lower, creating more displacement, more fair value gaps, okay? We have this one here, very large displacement, and then we have all this movement into the afternoon, okay, into the close, rebalancing the prior, okay, fair value gaps over here. I could drag this along through and you could see, it's rebalanced, but that's not the point, okay? The point I got today was price action was very clean, okay? We have a break into buy side, break below short-term low, displacement lower, trading into a fair value gap, continuing lower. I mean, to me, it doesn't get much more clear than that, okay? That makes a lot of sense. Now, regardless, okay, let's also go ahead and look at everything that I outlined in the 1 minute, okay? Because it's also a lot more clear. So that trade into the fair value gap on the 1 minute is a lot more obvious. It's a lot more refined, okay? We can see that here, but it makes sense. Like if I was to enter at the bottom of this order block on the 1 minute, okay, if I had a limit entry to go short, okay, it would have been a great opportunity. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Like it would be a great opportunity as price trades lower, okay? Price continues lower, and again, price takes that buy side into lunch, okay, breaks the prior low right here, displacement into PM, okay, trades into the displacement, continues lower. So what have I gotten really good on? I've gotten really good on marking these relative equal highs, looking at these fair value gaps. I notice them over and over and over, and I notice price rebalancing them. It comes so naturally, and it feels so great to see, me mark this high. I marked this before this high. I was aware of this, relative equal high, and I was focusing on these as price continued higher, and I was aware of this before all this movement happened. I was just focusing. I was waiting. I was looking at these triggers. I was looking at these short-term lows as sell side, and I was waiting for a shift in structure to fit my narrative of a bearish bias. And if I was trading, I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't expect myself to do anything, okay? So that's pretty much everything. That's my analysis for today. And before I forget, let's go to my Forex factor. Okay, and then we can also look at this and make sure, do I have, okay. I'd have to filter it out, so I'm not gonna even bother doing that right now. But regardless, okay, here's what we're gonna be doing this week. I'm going to be selecting random days in price action, and I'm going to be going through it in a video, and I'm going to be studying and back testing, okay, and looking for these things, looking for these different signatures, looking for the model within price action. And I'm going to be doing it not on current time frames. I'm going to be going back in the charts, going back even to last year's data, looking at that, marking these ranges, and looking for that exact thing. Okay. So, with that said, that is everything. That is everything I wanted to go over. I'm very tired, so I feel like I'm rambling a little bit, but it just feels so good. It feels so good to set out what I said I was going to, even being tired, and to notice these signatures and price. And I'm very grateful for ICT, and I'm very grateful for this process. I'm very grateful to continue learning, and I'm grateful for the road ahead and the road behind. So, thank you for anyone who's watched this, and take care.